This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. It's been a very busy couple of days worth of racing the last few days, and we are going to take a review beginning at Delaware Park with the Christiana Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. Let's head down to Delaware for the running of the Christiana.
And they're off in the Christiana. Garden Dance down toward the inside away. Well, Infinite Spirit is right there. 4 Pennies looking to move her way through, but on the outside, Sally's Forum will come out on top as they come down the chute onto the main course. Sally's Forum by 2 lengths. Up on the outside, Infinite Spirit. Toward the inside, 4 Pennies. And now Infinite Spirit's going to make a run for the lead, passing the finish line the first time. Infinite Spirit wants to go early on and does. Now takes a half-length advantage over Sally's Forum. Lets that one go by. Settles into second now. 4 Pennies third. Quickly a gap of 6 lengths further back to a Firm Dancer, followed by Weep No More, My Lady. Garden Dance saving ground nicely down toward the inside. Up on the outside, that's Natambi. And comes Katzen in the trailer, Pillow Talk. 1/4 flat. They've got 6 furlongs to go, and Infinite Spirit wanted that lead and has it by about a length. 4 Pennies tugging at the bit on the outside in second. Sally's Forum back into third. 4 lengths further back to a Firm Dancer toward the inside of Natambi, who's on the outside with Clear Sailing. A length further back to a Firm Dance, correction on the inside, Garden Dance racing next in line. Followed by Weep No More, My Lady, Katzen, and 3.5 to Pillow Talk. Half in, 48-1. They've got a half mile to go. It's still Infinite Spirit on the front end. 4 Pennies and Sally's Forum are still head-to-head in second and third. Then a gap of 2.5 Natambi, and on the inside of Firm Dancer, both making runs now. Garden Dance is next in line, then Weep No More, My Lady. Katzen moves up on the inside, and Pillow Talk. They've got a 1/4 mile to go, and still Infinite Spirit is grudgingly hanging in there after a 6 in, 1:12.4. Infinite Spirit leads the field as they head for home. The lead is still a length. Over here comes a Firm Dancer. Now Katzen's flying on the outside. Here comes Katzen on the outside, going head-to-head with a Firm Dancer. These two will fight it out. Katzen on the outside, bidding for the upset, and will get it. Katzen and Oliver Castillo wins the Christiana. Firm Dancer second, and Infinite Spirit hangs on to third, tight for fourth. Weep No More, My Lady, or Garden Dance.
Katzen picking up a nice victory at 18-1. She was 3 for 4 on turf going into this race, but that obviously was overlooked by the betting public. They settled on both a Firm Dancer and Infinite Spirit. Those two fillies ended up running 1 or 2 and 3 after both being involved in the early pace. Infinite Spirit dueled to mid-stretch, giving way. A Firm Dancer held on fairly nicely for the second spot, but was no match for Katzen in the top spot. The winner, Katzen, is a 3-year-old dark gray or brown filly, a daughter of a top stakes horse on grass named Furiously, who has had some problems with fertility, out of Peggy R by Ma Maison, bred in Kentucky by Hargis and Sandra Sexton, owned by Philip Cohen and Marcia and Steve Clasaris, trained by Steve Clasaris, and ridden to victory by Oliver Castillo. Katzen completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course in 1:50.1. Next, we're going to head to Kentucky Downs for the Kentucky Cup Turf Races, an interesting racetrack run somewhat in the European style, a very long, slightly uphill turf course. They tend to let the grass get a little bit long. It often generates relatively slow times, but some very interesting racing. We're going to start things off with the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash for older horses going 6th. Let's head to Kentucky Downs now for the Turf Dash.
Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash. Dancing Missile rockets out to take the early lead from Supremo Secret Enemies up the inside, racing third. Mighty Bow a close up fourth early. Diamond moves up into fifth. Red Lightning next, then Aloha Bold second last by 2. And Brown Eyed Major at the back is 10 lengths off the pace, down the dip and around the turn to go. It's Dancing Missile and Justin Vitek clear by a length and a quarter. Supremo Secret's tracking off that one's heels in second, and Mighty Bow's a clear cut third. Honor Me 6 off the pace in fourth. Diamond fifth. Brown Eyed Major's on the outside. Aloha Bowl's making headway up the inside rail now and coming quickly into the picture, and Red Lightning at the back of the pack. To the top of the lane they come. It's Dancing Missile in front by half a length. Supremo Secret on the attack, and they'll straighten up right together. Mighty Bow swung into action, gaining on the far side. Aloha Bold coming out. Fuller on Needs a Seam is switched out for Clear Sailing. Here comes Aloha Bold. Red Lightning's on the outside, wide open with a furlong and a half to go. Red Lightning Lightning, Aloha Bold, Mighty Bow digs in along the inside. Dancing Missile flat to the boards. Red Lightning a short lead from Aloha Bold. Red Lightning, Aloha Bold, and Mighty Bow. Red Lightning, Aloha Bold's on the inside. Red Lightning goes on to win. Red Lightning and Calvin Burrell winning the Kentucky Cup Turf Dash by a length and a half. Aloha Bold was second, Mighty Bow third.
Red Lightning picking up an 8.5 to 1 victory, 2 1/4 lengths over the favorite Aloha Bold. Both of them making the long stretch taking the best advantage of the long stretch. Both of them rallying from off the pace. Mighty Bow picks up the third spot after stalking in the early going. The winner, Red Lightning, is a 4-year-old chestnut son of Stormboot from Doodle by Duwan. He was bred in Kentucky by Pope McLean Jr., and Mark McLean. He is owned by Philip Maas and trained by Jeffrey Thornberry, ridden to victory by Cal Burrell. Red Lightning completes the 6 furlongs. Again, consider that kind of a softish turf and an uphill finish, 1:14.4. Continuing with the Kentucky Cup Turf events, the Ladies' Turf, $100,000 on offer for fillies and mares going a flat mile on the turf. Let's head back down to Kentucky Downs for the Ladies' Turf.
Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf. Rocket start for Persian Silver out to take the lead. Sprints clear by 2. Curious Conundrum racing second. Lyra Sersh is third. Then Doubly Fun to the outside races for Solvigs in mid-pack in 5th. Then Bail Money 6th. Sandair came away 7th. 4+4s on the far outside. And it's Slew Ice and Little River Queens at the back of the pack. A tightly bunched field. 7 lengths front to back up to the top of the rise they come. Leading the way, Persian Silver off the fence in front by a half to Curious Conundrum up the inside, pressing the pace in second, and they're joined quickly up the far outside now and gaining up into the race on the far outside. The inside is Doubly Fun, a short lead far outside. Lara Sersh is right there with Slew Ice on the far outside. 4+4 is next to length and a half. Persian Silver's along the inside. Couple back to Little River Queen, who's 6 lengths off the pace now. Solvig still in mid-pack and still under a hold. 2 back to Sandair and 3 back to Bail Money at the back of the pack as they wind for the top of the lane now. Lara Sersh neck in front of Doubly Fun racing second. 4+4 is revving it up into third. Persian Silver back under pressure along the inside in 4th place. Then Little River Queens on the far outside. Solvig splitting fillies and Slew Ice in between horses as they run for the top of the lane. La Research in front by an acted Doubly Fun racing in second. Here comes Slew Ice. Solvig is gearing it up. 4+4 splits fillies and comes on. Little River Queens on the far outside down to the final 3C60 to go. It's Doubly Fun with a short lead. La Research full bore, not going with her. Here comes Sandair charging out on the outside. Doubly Fun short lead, tackled by Sandair on the outside. Doubly Fun digs in. Sandair looking to push on by Doubly Fun. Sandair takes the lead. Sandair and Willie Martinez getting up to win the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf, beating Doubly Fun by a length, and Slew Ice was third.
Sandair picking up a nice victory, allowed to go off at 10 to 1. She's a filly that has run quite nicely on this surface, picks up a length and a half win from far back. Doubly Fun holds on for the second spot. It was a long way back to Sluice, rallying from off the pace into the third spot, shipped down there for Bill Mott after running a very nice racing and doing some good racing in Allowance Company here in New York. Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf winner Sandair is a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Dare and Go from San Empery by Empery. She was bred in Kentucky by Sidney Turner. Owned by David Mouse and trained by Rick Hiles. Ridden to victory by Willie Martinez. Sandair completes the mile on the turf in 1:42.2. Next, we're going to take a look at the Kentucky Cup Mile. $200,000 on offer for older horses going a flat mile, again on the turf. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the running of the mile.
Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Mile. It's Golden Oldie springing out on top. Short lead Pyrus pressing him from the outside early. Second Glick broke well. He's between the top pair. Third Royal Spies racing fourth. And they're followed by the filly Vegetarian racing fifth. Jadada next with 6 to make up. Then Cat Nero and Jake the Flake at the back of the pack. Up the hill to the crest of the rise they go. It's Pyrus and Larry Melanson opening up a length and a half now. And joined on the outside by Glick up into second by a half. Golden Oldie shuffle back third along the inside. Royal Spy in the track striking spot, a clear-cut fourth and gaining up into the race on the outside now. Then a gap of 5, farther back to Jadata. Cat Nero's on the outside, followed by Jake the Flake and Vegetarian at the back of the pack. Down around the far turn they go. It's Pyrus and Larry Melanson sitting chilly in front by 2. Glick starting to close the gap to the outside. Second, Royal Spy now shaken up. Third by 3. Cat Nero's up into it. Fourth on the inside. Then a gap of 3 back to Jadata, followed by Golden Oldie. Behind that comes Jake the Flake and Vegetarian at the back of the pack. To the top of the lane they come. Pyrus, the one to reel in, is clear by nearly 2. Click on the outside, set down for the drive in second. Royal Spies in third, and Cat Nero makes headway up the inside as they turn for home. Pyrus leads the way, still clear by 2. Click on the outside, trying to close that gap, but he's coming up to make a race of it now. Cat Nero on the inside. Royal Spy and Jake the Flake from the back of the pack down to the final furlong. Glick's up to take the lead. Glick going by Pyrus, and here comes Jake the Flake charging onto the outside. Down to the final 16th they go. Glick is tackled by Jake the Flake. Glick digs in. Jake the Flake is surging. Jake the Flake's in the final strides to win the Kentucky Cup Mile. Glick was second and Pyrus third.
Jake the Flake, who absolutely loves this turf course and has the perfect running style for it, completing the three-quarter length victory here over Glick in fairly solid fashion. Glick, a pretty hard-hitting old stakes horse from the Mott operation, did get involved in the early going, did actually get about a length or so lead at the top of the stretch, but that stretch there is about 3 furlongs long. Jake the Flake took perfect advantage. Pyrus sprinted clear in the early going and held on for the third spot. Favored in the field was Royal Spy, who was never fair back in the early going, but unfortunately that uphill stretch did take a lot out of him late. He faded off the board. Mile winner Jake the Flake is a 6-year-old chestnut horse, a son of Gold Spring from Oath of Allegiance by olden times. He was bred by Carol Cox in Kentucky. He's owned by John Murphy and Pam Slaughter, trained by Hal Wiggins, and ridden to victory by Cal Burrell. Jake the Flake completes the flat mile of the Kentucky Cup Mile in 1:40 and 4. Final race of the Kentucky Cup program, the Kentucky Cup Turf Handicap, $300,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going 1.5 miles. Again, keep in mind, when you watch them go into that first turn, this is essentially a hairpin turn. I believe it's the tightest turn in North American racing. Let's head back down to the Kentucky Downs for the running of the turf.
All set. Off and running in the Kentucky Cup Turf. It's a good start. It's Grammarian out for the early lead. Continental Red is flashing early speed to the inside, and Homeland is wrangled back from third. Now they're joined by Riddlesdown on the far outside. Passing the stands, a lap to go, and Riddlesdown takes over and strides away by a length to Grammarian, who's wrangled back off his heels in second. Homeland third, then Continental Red racing fourth, then Double Time racing along 5 off the pace in fifth, followed by Cheshire, who hugs that inside rail, racing in 6 by 2. They're followed up by Now Ras Now, and the favorite Ketaway on the far outside, 9 lengths off the pace at this point, followed by Rochester at the fence, 2 farther back to Deputy Strike second last, and Red Mountains at the back of the pack. Around the first turn they go. It's Riddlesdown, nice and easy under Larry Melanson, setting the pace by 1.5 lengths now. Grammarian tracks off his heels in second. Continental Red in a good striking spot along the inside is third. Then the gray Homeland racing in fourth. Cheshire hugs the rail, racing fifth by 1 length, followed by Devil Time to his outside, and behind that comes Rochester. Now Ras on the outside, 9 lengths off the pace to the outside of the favorite Ketaway now, and 2 farther back to Deputy Strike and Red Mountain at the back of the pack. Up the hill to the crest of the rise they go. It's Riddlesdown setting the pace in front by 1 length and 3/4. Grammarian's in second. Continental Red will shoot up the fence to challenge for the lead now, and behind that Rochester gets involved along the inside, and followed by Homeland, the gray on the far outside, and 1.5 lengths farther back to Cheshire. The favorite Ketaway along the inside is bottled up at the moment. Devil Time makes his move 3 wide, 3 back to Deputy Strike, and Red Mountain at the back of the pack. Around the far turn they go. Riddlesdown showing the way, 3/4 of a length in front. Grammarian's racing along in second place now, and they're followed by Continental Red. Lonnie Mess still biding his time at the fence in third. Homeland, the big grays, racing along in fourth. Cheshire's moving to the outside of Rochester, 5th and 6th now, and they're followed up by Ketaway with Devil Time on the outside, 9 lengths off the pace. Then Deputy Strike as they run for the top of the stretch. Riddlesdown has been in front every jump of the way and turns for home in front by a length. Continental Red will try to slip up the fence to challenge him from second. Cheshire charging hard on the outside. Grammarian set down for the drive. Homeland is next. Far outside, here comes Now Ras getting involved in Kitaweo. Down to the final furlong and a half they go. Up to take the lead, it's Rochester. Rochester takes over and goes clear. Now Ras attacking in second. Ketaweo's on the far outside, but it's Rochester and Eddie Martin Jr. clear. And Rochester rolling on to win the Kentucky Cup Turf. Rochester wins it by 2.5 lengths. Now Ras ran second, then Continental Red, and Ketaweo was fourth.
Rochester and Eddie Martin Jr. picking up a big victory here. This horse had been quite competitive against nice horses, did disappoint here at Saratoga, but returns to the winner's circle with a 2.5 length victory over Now Ras. Kieran McLaughlin shipper, who, like several others that he brought over from Dubai this spring, has been running very, very well against good company. Continental Red ships in from the West Coast, always well placed, loomed at the top of the stretch, but came up flat in that long uphill drive. Ketaweo, the favorite in the large field of 11, did run well to the back of the pack, rallied nicely, but was no threat to the top finishers in the field. The winner, Rochester, who is a true 1.5 mile type of horse, is a 6-year-old bay horse, a son of Green Dancer from Central City by Midian. He was bred in Pennsylvania by George Strawbridge Jr. He is owned by Mr. Strawbridge's Augustin Stable, trained by Jonathan Shepard and ridden to victory by Eddie Martin Jr. Rochester completes the 1.5 mile in 2:38 and 1. We are going to pause now for a brief break, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at stakes racing action from Louisiana Downs, Woodbine, and the Meadowlands. Please stay tuned.
Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. Under a bright Hollywood sun, D. Wayne Lucas, the winningest trainer in Breeders' Cup history, saddled his 3rd straight Breeders' Cup Distaff champion. In Team Lucas fashion, Sakawista went wire to wire.
It's Sakawista now who's up to take the lead. Clever Girl can't get to her. They're running out of ground, and it's going to be Sakawista wire to wire.
Sakawista gave Trainer of the Year D. Wayne Lucas another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. Hollywood Park was the stage for an epic battle between Kentucky Derby champions Ferdinand and Ali Sheba in the world's richest race, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And the champions would battle it out to the wire.
Ferdinand, Judge Angelucci on the outside, Ali Sheba. Ferdinand has the lead. Ali Sheba, a final surge. The two Derby winners hit the wire together.
Ferdinand's classic win was his Breeders' Cup Championship moment.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to head to Louisiana Downs, and we're going to take a look at the Super Derby, a Grade 2 $500,000 event for 3-year-olds. It has been changed in distance this year. Will be contested at 1 1/8 miles for the first time, a race that used to be run at 1 1/4 miles. Let's head down to Louisiana now for the running of the Super Derby.
And they're off in Super Derby 23. Walk in the Snow comes out running for the lead. There goes AP 500, and Essence of Dubai is quickest of them all as they pass the stands for the first time. And Essence of Dubai will be the pace setter. AP 500 up alongside in second, and Walk in the Snow settles back in third on the rail. Chop Chop is caught 4 wide into this first turn, followed by Private Emblem in 5th, then it's Thunder Days. The judge says who has 5 lengths to make up, and he's 4 in front of Glitzy's Classic. Onto the backstretch, Jorge Chavez and Essence of Dubai race off the rail in front by 3/4 of a length. Walk in the Snow, the Louisiana bred in second, AP 500 in third. Chop Chop losing ground on the outside, passed now by Private Emblem. Then it's Thunder Days, who has 6 lengths to make up. The judge says who moving up between rivals, and he's 5 clear of Glitzy's Classic. Heading to the half-mile pole in Super Derby 23, and Essence of Dubai in control by 2 lengths. AP 500 is a joint second outside of Walk in the Snow. The judge says who is making progress on the outside of Private Emblem. Thunder Days asked to pick it up. Chop Chop is next. Glitzy's Classic is far behind. Less than 3/8 of a mile to go. Still Essence of Dubai. AP 500 is a length behind him in second. Walk in the Snow is running a big one on the inside, and he moves to challenge. A break of 3 to the Judge Says Who, Private Emblem, and Thunder Days. They're heading toward the 8th pole. Essence of Dubai has been there every step of the way. Walk in the Snow second. The Judge Says Who is finishing well on the outside of AP 500, but it's Essence of Dubai. He's been there all the way, and he's running powerfully past the 16th pole. Essence of Dubai and Jorge Chavez all the way in Super Derby 23 by 4 lengths. Walk in the Snow ran a huge one in second. Third went to AP 500. Then it was the Judge Says Who.
Essence of Dubai tries a different tactic and is successful. This is a horse that has struggled a little bit to make up ground. He's been a stone-cold closer, not showing much of any speed throughout his entire career. And here he changes things around a little bit under Jorge Chavez, who obviously is a perfect rider for this, a very good gate rider, very aggressive on speed horses, gets him out of the gate in good order, was chased by Longshot Walk in the Snow in the early going. That one was never able to make up much ground on him, but was able to hold off the late charge of the rest of the field, including AP 500, who pretty much ran third all the way around the racetrack as well. The winner, Essence of Dubai, picking up his first North American Stakes win of his 3-year-old season, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old son of Pulpit from Epitome by Summing. He was bred in Kentucky by John Abel Farm et al. He is owned by the Godolphin stable of Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, trained by Saeed bin Surur. Ridden to victory by Jorge Chavez, Essence of Dubai completes the mile in an eighth in front-running style in 1:49.2. We're going to head back to Louisiana now for the running of the Louisiana Downs Handicap on Sunday. $100,000 for 3-year-olds and up, going a mile and a 16th on turf. Let's head back down to Louisiana for the Louisiana Downs Handicap.
And they're off in the Louisiana Downs Handicap. Chauffe Au Rouge and Rare Cure are the first 2 out. Rebridled had to take up sharply as they passed the stands for the first time. Chancellor MH now emerges with a short lead. Rare Cure to the outside, and Big Hubie now moves up to take third. Big Numbers is in fourth, followed by Dynamo. Chauffe Au Rouge is down on the fence. He's in a bit tight going into this first turn, and Rebridled is the early trailer, now about 6 lengths off the pace. The pace being set by Chancellor MH, who leads by a length and a half to Rare Cure in second. On the inside, it's Big Hubie in third, being passed by Dynamo on the outside. Dynamo's tugging hard and going up to put pressure on the leader. Big Numbers is 4 lengths off the pace. Chauffe Au Rouge tucked inside of him. Rebridled is in the clear. 6 lengths covers the field as they run down the backstretch. Dynamo puts his neck in front. Rare Cure is in second. Chancellor MH is now back to third. Big Hubie fourth, 2.5 off the pace. Chauffe Au Rouge is guided off the fence and starts to rally now. Big Numbers outside of him. Rebridled has 7 lengths to make up. Less than 3/8 to go. Rare Cure and Dynamo have opened up 3 lengths on Big Hubie third. Chauffe Au Rouge traveling smoothly on the outside fourth. He's asked to run now. Rebridled will save ground. They're at the top of the stretch. Dynamo's short lead. Chauffe Au Rouge extreme outside. Big Hubie is in between them down at the rail. Rare Cure gives way. Rebridled from the back of the pack. Final furlong. Dynamo's running a huge one. Big Hubie's up to take him on. Big Hubie and Dynamo Rebridled into third. Chauffe Au Rouge fourth. Big Hubie just in front. Big Hubie wins the Louisiana Downs Handicap by a head over a very game Dynamo. Rebridled rallied for third.
Big Hubie and Tim Ducey picking up the win with a nice, perfectly timed move, getting by Dynamo. Rebridled rallies from far, far back off the pace to pick up the third spot. The winner, Big Hubie, is a chestnut bred by Mr. Arthur Hancock. Unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, I don't have all of the full information about him, but he is a Kentucky-bred, Hancock-bred horse. He is now owned by the Dream Walkin' Farm, trained by Kenny Smith and ridden to victory by Tim Ducey. Big Hubie completes the mile and his 16th on the turf course at Louisiana in 1:42.1. We're going to head next to Woodbine for a pair of stakes races over the weekend, beginning with the Mazarin Breeders' Cup Stakes. $250,000 for 2-year-old filly is stretching to a mile and a 16th. Let's head up to Woodbine for the running of the Mazarin.
They're off. Mountain Dawn toward the inside. Ray Wayne is showing early speed along with Collymore Hall. From the outside, Brusque and Hand Painted's aggressive in the early going. And it's Brusque who comes on for Ram Sammy to lead these fillies into the first turn. And Cable takes Hand Painted to the outside. Ground-saving turn for Mountain Dawn. Collymore Hull is in fourth position, 5 lengths off the lead. Then we have Raylene. To her outside is a Curiosity. Second to last, Miss Mary Apples. And trailing in the early going, Island Refrain. 23 1/5 of a second for the opening quarter mile. And the front running Brusque has widened out to 3.5 lengths. Hand Painted is second. Mountain Dawn to the inside third. Collymore Hull is fourth, back 6 lengths off the lead. Then Raylene, Curiosity, Miss Mary Apples, and Island Refrain. 47 1/5 of a second. The pace is being set by Brusque. And they head into the far turn. Brusque by 3. Hand Painted has her in her sights. Collymore Hull in that white bridle is back third, 6 lengths off the lead. Then we have Mountain Dawn in fourth. Raylene is fifth, has 10 lengths to make up on Brusque as they come to the top of the stretch. It is Brusque, and Cable is asking Hand Painted in second. But Brusque leads by 3.5 lengths. Hand Painted, fully extended on the outside, will try to run down Brusque in the final 1/8 of a mile. But Brusque is tougher than a night in jail. And it's Brusque by 3.5 lengths. Hand Painted will not catch her this afternoon. Brusque and Ram Sammy to win the Mazarine Breeders' Cup. Hand Painted second. Mountain Dawn was third.
Brusque, a bit of a long shot here, gets away in good order, sprints clear, assuming command in the early going, and picks up a driving 2 1/4 length victory over the heavily favored Hand Painted, who gave chase every step of the way. Futile though it was, Mountain Dawn was allowed to settle behind horses in nice position, but was unable to mount any sort of a bid late in the going. The winner, Brusque, is a chestnut 2-year-old daughter of Canaveral from Privileged Speech by General Assembly. Bred in Kentucky by the Wind Hill Farm, she's owned by Ronald A. Woods, trained by Mr. Woods, and ridden to victory by Emil Ramsamy. Brusque completes the mile in the 16th at Woodbine in 1:45 and 1. Heading back up to Woodbine on Sunday for the running of the Swinford. This time it was 2-year-old Colton Geldings going 7. Let's head back north of the border for the running of the Swinford.
They're off in the Swinford Stakes. Added Edge broke on top, but entry mate Whispered Warning comes on quickly on the inside to take the lead. Whispered Warning. Added Edge is in second position. As they leave the chute, back in third is Canasta. And Place All Bets is fourth, back 8 lengths off the lead. Whispered Warning. Throttled down on the front end by John O'Jones. Whispered Warning leads through an opening quarter of 22 3/5 of a second. Added Edge. Whispered Warning's entry mate is at his flank in second. Canasta's third, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Place All Bets a closer fourth. They head into the far turn, and it's Whispered Warning now. Added Edge starts to glide up to the bridle of Whispered Warning with 2.5 furlongs to the wire. Canasta just 1.5 lengths off the lead. Then Place All Bets, and they're a 1/4 of a mile out. It's Whispered Warning on the inside and Added Edge on the outside. Canasta is third, being called on left-handed, and they're into the stretch. Whispered Warning, Added Edge on the outside, measures Whispered Warning. Goodbye. Added Edge and Husbands, this is going to be a canter here. Added Edge, looking impressive, looking sharp. This is a top 2-year-old here. Added Edge wins it by 6 and does it easily. A Swinford winner by 6 lengths. Canasta second, Whispered Warning third.
Added Edge and Pat Husbands picking up a victory here as the heavy favorite. 4-horse field, only win wagering. This horse went off as the $2.10 winner. Just perfect effort here by this colt, who won by 3 3/4, throttled down. The final time not particularly brilliant, but I think that this horse is a real racehorse. He is a very interesting colt, one that might be worth keeping your eye on. They decided to bring him back down to the United States. Canasta runs second from off the pace. Whispered Warning set the pace, held on for third, and Place All Bets never really got into the game. The winner, Added Edge, is a 2-year-old chestnut son of Smart Strike from Sweet Nostalgia by Mr. Red Eye, bred in Kentucky by Gulf Coast Farms Bloodstock, owned by Team Valor and Robert J. Wilson, trained by Mark Cass, ridden to victory by Pat Husbands. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this bring this youngster down to the United States. And he does look like he might be a horse that is worth keeping your eye on. Added Edge completes the 7 furlongs of the Swinford in 1:23.1. Next, we're going to head to the Meadowlands for a pair of stakes races on Friday night's card. We're going to kick things off with the John Henry, a $50,000 turf event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 mile and 70 yards. Let's head down to the Meadowlands for the running of the John Henry.
And they're off in the John Henry. American Freedom bounces right out there. River Rush on the outside challenges early. 3 Wonders toward the fence is racing third, followed by Magentic as they pass us for the first time. It's American Freedom on the inside. River Rush on the outside. They match strides and draw away to lead by 2, followed by Magentic, who's caught wide at the clubhouse turn. 3 Wonders is shuffled back to be 4th on the inside rail. Then a gap of 2 1/4. Sardaukar in the red colors at the fence is 5th at this point by a head. Up on the outside, there goes Mumtaz gaining a bit of ground. And the trailer is Crash Course. Down the backstretch, an opening quarter of 23-2. And River Rush, easily with Richard Migliore, glides up to take the lead by a half. American Freedom on the inside, second, 1.5 lengths. Now here comes American Freedom back to challenge. Their noses apart on the front end. River Rush on the outside, lets out a notch. American Freedom on the inside is right there second. Here comes Bailey with Magentic, a close-up third. From the back of the pack, Crash Course is 4th, followed by 3 Wonders 5th. Then comes Sardaukar, and Mumtaz is the back marker. They turn for home. River Rush with Richard Migliore set sail for home with a 1.25 lengths advantage. Magentic on the outside. From between horses, American Freedom back in gear. Down the stretch they come in the John Henry. On the inside, River Rush digging in and holding on.
River Rush, familiar face to Saratoga fans. He picked up 2 consecutive allowance races on the Saratoga turf. Both of them fairly handy wins. Goes down to New Jersey, sets the pace, gets involved in a little bit of a tussle in the early going. Holds off American Freedom in the late going. Magentic sits a perfect stalking trip, but was not able to mount much of a bid in the 3rd spot. Magentic, returning off of a bit of a freshening, had been scratched from an allowance spot this week at Belmont Park. The winner, River Rush, is a dark bay or brown 4-year-old colt. The son of Strode's Creek from Graceful Wings by Groovy, was bred in Kentucky by Stonerside Stable. He's owned by the Gold Spur Stable and Alan Quartucci, trained by Lisa Lewis and ridden to victory by Richie Migliore. River Rush completes the 1 mile and 70 yards of the John Henry in 1:39 flat. Heading back down to the Meadowlands for Friday night's running of the Violet Handicap, a grade $350,000 event for fillies and mares at 1 mile and 1/16 on turf. Let's head down to the Meadowlands once more for the running of the Violet.
And they're off. Toward the inside, that's Babet. Out in the middle of the racetrack, Platinum Tiara. Platinum Tiara speeds up and moves to the fence as they pass us for the first time. Platinum Tiara has the lead by 2.5 lengths. Shooting Party, the other gray, moving into second position, and Rum is now positioned on the outside, but inches over to the fence in third. Stylish saved ground on the inside, 4th at this point in the green and white colors. Babet has been shuffled back to 5th, but advances steadily on the outside. Gap of 2, High Lady in the blue colors is next, about 8 from the front. Even Tail in the yellow cap is next. At the fence, that's Jenna Sieta, followed on the outside by Lady of the Future, who's second last. It's a gap of 6 lengths to the back marker, Tippity Witch. They continue down the backstretch after a half of 46 3/5 seconds. And Platinum Tiara with Tommy Turner leads them to the far turn with an uncontested 2-length advantage. Shooting Party saves ground in second. Babet inching up on the outside. Babet with the white blinkers takes second and has dead aim on the early leader as they straighten away in the stretch. It's Platinum Tiara who's led from the start. On the outside, here comes Babet to challenge. Their noses apart on the front end, and down the stretch they come. Babet on the outside sweeps to the front. Platinum Tiara second, Stylish a closer third, Rum is fourth. Here's the wire, and here's Babet with Jorge Chavez, the easy winner of the Vial.
Babet returns to top form here with a nice off-the-pace move. Mare who has done her best running when in position fairly close to the pace, was 3 wide up the backstretch, drew clear very nicely by 3 over a game Platinum Tiara, who has struggled a little bit to find her very best form since having a very good 2-year-old season a couple of years back. She maintains a neck position over the late-running Stylish, who was the favorite at 2-1 in the field under Jerry Bailey, down for Bill Mott. The winner, Babet, is a 6-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Barkerville from Betrayer by Fane. She was bred by R.S. Campagnard in Chile and is owned by Joseph P. Platt Jr., trained by Frank Alexander, ridden to victory by a very busy Georgie Chavez. Babet completes the mile and a 16th on the turf in 1:41 flat. We are going to pause now for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at the weekend stakes action from New York. Please stay tuned.
Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. On a sunny afternoon at New York's Belmont Park, 2-year-old sensation Meadow Star looked to complete her season undefeated with a victory in the $1 million Juvenile for fillies.
Meadow Star taking command, leading the way and leaving the others behind in the wake of her brilliance. A perfect season for Meadow Star.
For Meadow Star, this crowning achievement was her Breeders' Cup Championship moment. Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. Under a light rainfall at historic Churchill Downs, Super Filly Personal Ensign would retire unbeaten by capturing the Breeders' Cup distaff. Standing in her path was Kentucky Derby champion Winning Colors.
Here comes Personal Ensign, unleashing a furious one on the outside. Winning Colors is there. A dramatic finish, and it is Personal Ensign there.
For undefeated Personal Ensign, this courageous victory was her Breeders' Cup Championship moment.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to take a look at the weekend's action from New York, beginning with New York Breds and the Ashley T. Cole. New York Breds going for $75,000 on the turf. Let's head down to Belmont for the running of the Ashley T. Cole.
And they're off with World of Wonder, and there goes Reluctant Groom. Down toward the inside, Shag Wong as their Celtic Sky is forwardly placed. They move into the clubhouse turn. Celtic Sky over to the inside. On the outside, Reluctant Groom now. And Edgar Prado sends Reluctant Groom out to the lead. He's out there now, clear by 2. Celtic Sky backs off to concede the early lead to Reluctant Groom. No Wide Flags is running third. 2.5 lengths back. Chasing Woman is rating back and fourth. Shagwong, fifth toward the inside by another 2. And then it's I'm All Yours racing in 6, followed by World of Wonder. And Hags Castle trailing the field as they continue their run up the backstretch. Reluctant Groom 3/4 of a length. Celtic Sky pulls his way up. Very edgy is Celtic Sky up into second now. On the outside, No White Flags runs along in third. And then it's Quiet Ruler, who's fourth in between horses. Shagwong rides the rails in fifth. Chasing Woman still unhurried, about 5 lengths from the lead. Farther back in the field, it's World of Wonder coming through on the inside of I'm All Yours. Late running Hags Castle is 9 lengths from the leader. The leader is Reluctant Groom, whose half mile was 49 2/5 seconds. Comfortable enough for Reluctant Groom, the leader into the far turn, the leader by a length. No White Flags is mounting a bid. Now second on the outside. Celtic Sky is back to third. Chasing Woman draws within 3 lengths of the lead. And then it's I'm All Yours, followed by Shag Wong as the field makes their way toward the top of the stretch. Reluctant Groom on the inside, No White Flags on the outside. Just in behind them, it's Celtic Sky, followed by Chasing Women. On the far outside, I'm All Yours, and Hags Castle is uncorking his rally now. 5 lengths behind. A furlong to go. It's still Reluctant Groom. Here comes I'm All Yours, closing powerfully, and Celtic Sky comes on through, and Hags Castle on the outside. They're coming down to the finish. I'm All Yours has come away with the lead. I'm All Yours wins by a head over late running Hags Castle. Celtic Sky third.
All the usual suspects show up and pretty much all ran their race. Reluctant Groom fading after being involved in the pace every step of the way as I'm All Yours takes command by a neck over the game. Hags Castle rallying from far off the pace. Celtic Sky had a stalking trip, was actually quite aggressive with Jose Santos in the early going. Jose got him to settle back. He made a bit of a middle move after having a little bit of trouble. He did have to split rivals in the stretch, gets up for the third spot, beaten only a neck and a head. The winner, I'm All Yours, continues to run terrific races in New York bred Turf Company. He is a 5-year-old bay gelding, a son of Belong to Me from Phalaenopsis by Cormorant. He was bred in New York by Gerald A. Nielsen, owned by Ann Stew Stable, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. He is the defending champion turf horse in New York bred company, and I would imagine with this victory has probably earned himself another top spot as well. Ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, I'm All Yours completes the mile and an eighth on the turf in 1:49 flat. Stakes racing action continued at Belmont on Saturday with the Noble Damsel, a grade 2 for fillies and mares running for $100,000, the distance of flat mile on the turf. Let's head back to Belmont for the running of the Noble Damsel.
And they're off. Quick Blue out to the lead immediately. Dat You Miss Blue also out fast. And there goes Wonder Mom. Racing into the backstretch run, it's Quick Blue short lead. Wonder Mom second on the inside. Dat You Miss Blue out sprinted early. She's back running third by 2. Tate's Creek is now fourth. Then Cozy Corner fifth on the outside. Amanita reserved at the back of the pack, along with Watch and Coney Kitty, who was steadied in traffic there. Coney Kitty having a bit of a problem there, resisting the restraint of Pat Day as they continue up the backstretch run at 22-2 opening quarter mile. And Quick Blue the leader. Quick Blue in front, Wonder Mom second, followed by Dat You Miss Blue racing third. Amanita now up into fourth. Toward the inside, Cozy Corner fifth. Tate's Creek is sixth now. Jerry Bailey gives her a nudge, but they're still about 7 or 8 lengths behind. And then it's Coney Kitty still at the back of the pack, and Watch the last of them all. Quick Blue's half, 45 seconds flat. Dat You Miss Blue right there pressing harder now. Second on the outside. Wonder Mom third toward the rail. Amanita running along in fourth. And Cozy Corner Takes Creek getting in gear on the outside. Watch, the trailer is now Coney Kitty. And the field turns for home. Quick Blue cuts the corner. Dat You Miss Blue right there on the outside. Amanita! Amanita takes over at the top of the stretch. And Tate's Creek in full stride now into the final furlong. Amanita trying to hold off the oncoming Tate's Creek. Tate's Creek, Amanita. Coney Kitty moves to third, down to the finish, and Tate's Creek overtakes Amanita to win it. Tate's Creek by length. Amanita second. Dat You Miss Blue third. Coney Kitty fourth.
At a mile to a mile and the 16th, Tate's Creek is a very difficult filly to beat. She was very competitive here in the Diana. Did have a disappointing performance out in the Midwest in the Beverly D, but returns to terrific form as the odds-on favorite with a 1-length victory, rallying hard on the outside as Amanita had taken command at the top of the stretch. Did appear to be home free before Jerry Bailey was able to shake Tate's Creek loose. Dat You Miss Blue. It's had a patient trip. Obviously, they did not want to get too aggressive in the early going. They wanted to let Quick Blue and Wonder Mom go out there and do some work for them. But Dat You Miss Blue, a very patient trip, and holds on to the third spot as Coney Kitty was coming hard late. The winner, Tate's Creek, is a chestnut 4-year-old filly, a daughter of Rahi from Viviana by Nureyev. Her younger sister, Sightseek, picked up a big allowance victory on at Belmont Park earlier on in the week. Looks to be heading into Stakes Company to join sister Tate's Creek, who certainly was very impressive here, a daughter of Rahi and Viviana by Nureyev. Bred by the Juddmonte Farm, owned by Juddmonte Farm, trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden by Jerry Bailey. Tate's Creek completes the flat mile of the Noble Damsel run on a firm turf course in a very quick 1:32.3. Grade 1 Vosburg next for 3-year-olds and up, going 7 furlongs. This is one of the historic sprint races on the New York card. May have lost a bit of its luster in the last few years as it is run at 7 furlongs, and a lot of the major sprint horses will stay at 6 prior to the Breeders' Cup. Nonetheless, it comes up an interesting field. Let's head down to New York now for the running of the Vosburg.
And they're off. Bonaparte breaks on top. Wild Summer there. Voodoo's in between horses, multiple choice toward the inside, up the backstretch, and Bonaparte, the quickest away from the gate, leads by a length. Voodoo and multiple choice in hot pursuit. They're second and third, a break of 5 to Wild Summer, Aldebaran, and Griffinite. Racing up the backstretch, Bonaparte shaking loose. Bonaparte out there a length and a half. Voodoo's second ahead, multiple choice on the inside, third. Bonaparte got that quarter in 22 and 2/5 seconds. There's a break of 6 back to Aldebaran, followed by Wild Summer, and Griffinite lags behind them all. 4 furlongs to go. Bonaparte in front, confronted now by Voodoo. Bonaparte by a head, Voodoo turning up the pressure. Multiple choice chasing them third. 6 lengths to Aldebaran, followed by Wild Summer and Griffinite. The half in 45 seconds flat. It's still Bonaparte with a tenuous lead as they turn for home. Voodoo's right there. Multiple choice just in behind. 6 lengths back to Wild Summer and Aldebaran. As the field turns for home, it's still Bonaparte. And he's under a hand ride. Bonaparte's still under a hand ride at the top of the stretch. Voodoo's been all out for a quarter mile trying to get past him. But now he's a length and a half behind. Multiple choice. Aldebaran. Aldebaran is coming with a flying finish on the outside. But it's Bonaparte. Bonaparte's clear by 3. Aldebaran too late, not enough. Bonaparte scores impressively in wire-to-wire fashion, winning by 2 lengths over Aldebaran. Farther back, Voodoo finished third. The final time was 1:22 and 1.
Bonaparte announces his arrival at Belmont Park, very loud and very clear. Bonaparte, very fast horse, allowed to go off as the second choice, despite the fact that he looked like the lone true speed in here, and has not run a poor race since his first start back in the United States after an ill-fated trip to Dubai this past winter. Returned to terrific form in his last pair, comes into this race in a winning streak, and sets the pace under Gerard Melanson, who was able to hold him to what for him is a relatively leisurely 45 seconds for the first half mile, and was able to cruise by 2.5 over the late charging Aldebaran, who unfortunately often leaves himself with too much to do. Voodoo stalked the pace in the early going and held on to the third spot here. Bonaparte, with his win in the Vosburg, does pass the $1 million mark. He has been a considerably important sprinter, particularly over the winter times down at the fairgrounds, but he has taken his act on the road this season and has really provided a lot of entertainment for a lot of people. Terrific effort by Bonaparte on the front end here. Bonaparte is a gelded 6-year-old son of Sabona from Palova by Nijinsky, who was bred in Kentucky by Dr. William O. Reed and is owned by James and Dennis Richard, trained by Norman C. Miller III. The horse is not nominated to the Breeders' Cup, so they're not sure whether or not they're going to go pay the supplementary fee, but in the meantime, they're going to have fun racing this horse and continuing, I hope, to do very well. Ridden to victory by Gerard Melanson. Bonaparte goes the 7 furlongs of the Vosburg in 1:22 and 1. Pair of stakes races at Belmont on Sunday, beginning with New York bred fillies and mares in the Schenectady, going 6 furlongs for the older horses. The purse $75,000. Let's head down to New York for the running of the Schenectady.
And they're off. We'll see ya. Bounces out of there. Maddie May on the far outside. Jolie is gunned to the lead. Jolie sprinting away under an aggressive early ride to lead by 2. We'll see a second. Chocolate Men on the inside. Maddie May, the big favorites on the outside and in the clear. Followed by Natalina. And it's a long way back. It's about 7 lengths back to Belongs to Moni, trailing the field as they race around the far turn. Jolie cuts out a quarter here in 22 and 2/5 seconds, and Maddie May is right there with her now on the outside, second by 2. We'll see her running on strongly, well off the rail in third. Chocolate Mint being asked to keep up. Fourth, a break of 5 to Natalina. Another 7 back to Belongs to Moni. As the field comes to the top of the stretch, it's Jolie trying to hang in there as Maddie May powers up alongside. We'll see it just in behind him, and Chocolate Mint. Maddie May takes over. Maddie May in front now. Just a nudge there from Johnny Velasquez, and she is responding, and Maddie May spurts away to lead by 2.5 lengths. We'll see a second. Chocolate Mint third. Nothing left for Jolie, and then farther back it's Natalina. But it's all Maddie May winning like a 1 to 2 shot should, gliding under the line, a 4-length winner beneath Johnny Velasquez. We'll see it finish second, and it's dead tight for third between Natalina and Chocolate Mint.
Maddie May drops back into New York Bred Stakes Company and picks up a 3 3/4 length victory over We'll See, who had pulled off a dramatic upset earlier on this year, has not quite returned to that form. Chocolate Mint off of an out-of-town try against Stakes Company. Picks up the third spot with a little bit of a rallying move. The winner, Maddie May, is a dark bay or brown 5-year-old mare, a daughter of Not for Love from Lady by Design by Fast Play. She was bred in New York by Roger Toffelon, owned by Soul Madcap Stable, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Johnny Velasquez. Maddie May completes the 6 furlongs of the Schenectady in 1:11 flat. Final stakes race of the weekend in New York, the Jamaica Grade 2 $200,000 event for 3-year-olds on the turf. This race has been coming up just a little bit light in the last few years, but this year we've already seen some good turf racing in New York. We're also going to get to see a rematch of a couple of horses that ran 1-2 in the Secretariat in Grade 1 Company in Chicago earlier this year. Let's head down to New York now for the running of the Jamaica.
And they're off. Union Place heading for the lead, so too Ibn Al-Haytham and Finality on the far outside. As they hit the clubhouse turn, it's Union Place short lead. Ibn Al-Haytham right alongside. Finality caught 3 wide into the first turn. Chiseling gets a coveted spot early. In behind the leaders and saving ground in 4th. Jazzbeat in and among horses is now 5th. And then McCaw reserved in 6th position. On the outside, Miesque's Approval moves up from 7th now, only about 4 lengths from the lead. Then Devious Indian, and the early trailer is Van Minister. The first quarter around that turn was 24 2/5 seconds. Union Place pushed along by Ibn Al-Haytham, Finality on the outside, Chiseling rating in behind them, along with Jazzbeat and Miesque's Approval in the clear 6th. And those are followed by Macau, followed on the outside by Devious Indian. Van Minister is the trailer with 5 furlongs to go. The opening half was 47 4/5 seconds. The pace is an honest one, and Union Place still holds a narrow lead over Ibn Al-Haytham. Finality right there on the outside, Chiseling right there in behind the leaders, still saving ground in 4th. And a bad step there, Jazzbeat. Jazzbeat had to steady in traffic. On the outside, Miesque's Approval moving around Jazzbeat now. Around the far turn, it's still Union Place, Ibn Al-Haytham, and Finality. They've been 1, 2, 3 all the way around the racetrack. Chiseling has been in behind them the whole way, and Chiseling is now ready to roll. Miesque's Approval on the outside, and then down toward the rail, Macau. They're at the top of the stretch. Union Place, Ibn Al-Haytham, Finality on the outside. Macau coming through on the inside. Chiseling is switched out for running room now. There's a furlong to go. Union Place, here comes Finality. Finality grabs the lead just outside the 16th pole. Union Place second, Chiseling on track late, followed by Macau on the line. Finality first. The winner by a length. Union Place finishing second, Chiseling third, Macau fourth.
Finality pulls off a bit of an upset here. This is a New York bred colt who had been very competitive throughout the entire year on the turf against 3-year-olds, including a nice effort behind Ibn Al-Haytham in the Saranac last time out. Sits a perfect stalking trip and picks up a 1-length victory at just under 10-1. Union Place, the early pace setter, after being pressed by Ibn Al-Haytham, holds on very nicely at 10-1. He was a horse that was very competitive in Stakes Company here at Saratoga. Chiseling, the Grade 1 winner of the Secretariat earlier on this summer, comes back to New York and unfortunately can do no better than third as the favorite at 2.5-1. The winner, Finality, is a 3-year-old chestnut colt, a very flashy-looking individual with a big white star on his head, a son of Dahair from Finally Found by Lord Durham. He was bred in New York by Mr. Albert Freed, Jr., owned by Dogwood Stable and trained by Todd Pletcher, who had a terrific weekend in Stakes Racing Company this weekend. Finality, ridden to victory by John Velasquez, completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course at Belmont in a quick 1:46 3. That wraps up a busy weekend of stakes racing action. We hope you've enjoyed the program and hope you'll be able to join us again next week when we have a very busy recap of a lot of Grade 1 stakes racing action from here in New York as well as around the country. Thanks for watching. I'm Jean Wood, and I will see you all back here next time.